What is up, wellness warriors? Senor Pisano here, coming at you with another video in preparation for our giant 14-day wellness challenge kickoff, which is kicking off tomorrow, Monday, January 11th, 2021. If you are new to this group, make sure you head over to my YouTube channel and check out the video entitled "What is the 14-Day Wellness Challenge?" so that you can just get a complete understanding of everything that this challenge is about. And additionally, I highly encourage all of you, if you haven't already, head over to that Flipgrid link in our Google Classroom and take a look at Ms. Scamato, Ms. Postlewaite, and Mr. Verblau's videos. They're gonna tell you a little bit about this challenge, their experiences, and all the awesome positive effects that can come out of this challenge. So let me get back to my house and I'll be with you all in just a minute. All right, so this video is hopefully going to serve as a guide for you so that you can make the best out of your 14-day wellness challenge. In this video, I'm going to give you 5 tips, tricks, pointers, reminders, and of course, you know it, some motivation to get you in the right mindset so that you can get after this 14-day wellness challenge. So without further ado, here we go with our 5 tips. All right, tip number 1. If you haven't already, make sure that you head over to our Google Classroom and click on that link for the Google Doc, which has our 14-day wellness challenge recording sheet. You are going to need this handy for you throughout your entire 14-day wellness challenge, and I'm going to explain in tip number 3 why that's absolutely important. But if you take a look at this doc, you'll see we got it separated into morning and nighttime, all right, with our checklist items of breathing, hydration, movement, and nutritional choices. And then we got a box on the right for a little bit of reflection. Tip number 2, take control of your decisions. As I just mentioned, we all know that this challenge is all about marking off your hydration, your breathing, your movement, your nutritional choices. But this challenge is really a whole lot more than just who can eat well or drink well or move well or make better nutritional choices. Let's take it from Ms. Postlewaite in her Flipgrid video and see what this challenge is really about.
So I started this wellness challenge and I realized that there are 2 areas in life. One are things you can control and the other are things you cannot control. All too often I found myself focusing on parts of life that I was unable to control. But when I joined the wellness challenge, I started to feel like there are things that I can control in life. And of those are the 4 techniques that are instilled in you during this 14-day wellness challenge, being nutritional choices, breathing, hydration, and movement.
So as you heard from Ms. Postlewaite, this routine is about proving to yourself that you have the ability to take control of your habits, your routine, and your life. Because I believe, and I think a lot of you can agree with me too, that some of the most difficult decisions that we make day in and day out are those little internal battles that we have with ourselves, right? It's you versus yourself. I know all you students know exactly what I'm talking about when I'm talking about those internal battles, those decisions we have to make with ourselves every day, like, am I going to leave my bed for class today? Or perhaps, am I going to turn my light on for class today and actually have some brightness in my room? Or how about maybe, am I gonna put some clothes on and get dressed as if it were like an actual real day in school? Or maybe, am I gonna put some H2O into my system so that my body can actually work, and perhaps tag that along with some nutrition? By the way, edamame beans, 14 grams of protein per serving. These are sweet little snacks to have at all times. Always keep them in the pocket. Getting back to what I was saying. Am I gonna set myself up right next to my handy dandy cell phone that has all these wonderful apps and social media that I can just scroll while I leave my camera off while I take part in class today? Or am I even going to turn my camera on so that the teacher can see that I'm here and I'm physically present and I'm dedicating myself to class today? Or perhaps I'll just set myself up in front of my giant flat screen TV and play on my Xbox because it's okay, nobody can tell because my camera's off. All of those little minute decisions. I mean, if you had to do a check mark of all of those 8 or 9, I don't know how many things I just mentioned on a worksheet, and ask yourself, are you winning the day if you did every single one of those things? I know a lot of us are not quite winning, and so I got a challenge within the challenge for you all. Get out of bed, get dressed, turn the lights on, put yourself in a space that is free from distraction, open up your laptop, turn that camera on, and let everybody know that you are here, you're ready to learn, and you're ready to win the day. Sorry, tip number 2 got a little out of hand. But if you know me, you know that I tend to go on tangents, so that one just got a little out of the way. But as a reminder, tip number 2 is to be in control of your decisions. And with that being said, let's move on to tip number 3. And tip number 3 is to build positive momentum. Be sure to mark your charts daily, all right? By now, we should all have these charts printed out. And although you may not realize it, these pieces of paper serve for a whole lot more than you realize. These are incredibly important. I'm gonna tell you why. Remember, this challenge is about building good habits and good routines. And that's why I want you to keep your 14-day wellness challenge checklist in clear sight and to be checking off daily, regularly. I keep mine right here, right next to my TV. In fact, it's on top of my mat because every morning I'm waking up, I'm hydrating, I'm eating my oatmeal, I'm doing my breathing exercises here, and I'm getting some movement in here. And this reminds me that I need to track my progress day in and day out. And why is that? Because remember, there are 4 things for us to check in the morning and 3 things for us to check in the evening. And every single time you go ahead and check off one thing, such as hydration or breathing or movement or nutrition, that is one small victory point. You do the whole morning, that's 4. You add in nighttime, that's 3 more. You've got 7 victory points here. And you're gonna start to realize day after day after day, as you rack up those victory points, even if you miss a morning or an afternoon or whatever it may be, you're gonna look here and this is gonna be living proof that you are winning more than you're losing. And not to be discouraged by those times that you happen to miss, because you look here and you realize I have way more many check marks than I have circles missing, or whatever you choose to do that. So, reminder, tip number 3, we need to build positive momentum. Make sure that you mark those charts daily. Okay, now, so for tip number 4, I'm just gonna leave this one up to Miss Kamato because I really couldn't have said it any better than she did herself in her Flipgrid video. So let's take a look.
Be kind to yourself, give yourself some grace if you do have a bad day. Don't let it ruin the whole thing. Just get back on track the next hour or the next day. Don't beat yourself up about it. Just keep going and then keep checking in with all of us because everybody in this group is a great motivator.
Thank you, Ms. Kamato. So with that being said, tip number 4 is all about being kind to yourself. As I alluded to in tip number 3, this challenge is all about positive momentum. Positive momentum. And so if you happen to miss a check mark here, a victory point there, or an entire day there, as Ms. Kamato said, you cannot beat yourself up about it. Just jump back on track the next hour or the next day or whatever it may be. And when you do happen to slip up, that's why I included this box all the way to the right, and that is for reflection, okay? If you notice that one night you absolutely mess up and you start drinking soda instead of water and you have some candy and some desserts, that's okay. Call attention to it here in reflection, and I guarantee you that you recognizing that you didn't make the greatest choice that day is going to make you the following morning say, I'm right back on track. I got my victory point here. That makes up for the previous day, okay? We have to say positive, positive, positive. And even when we have our slip-ups and we're feeling down about our routines, you need to be kind to yourself. That is tip number 4. Last and certainly not least, tip number 5 is to be a part of the team. I mean, come on now. We got a team, we got a squad, we got 230 plus members in this group of students and teachers, not to mention all my other friends that are doing this outside of this group. Shout out to my friends. Thanks for the support. That are taking on this challenge together. We are a team, we are a community of people with a shared purpose, with shared goals. And so every time when you're waking up and you have those difficult like internal decision battles between yourself of whether or not I'm gonna hydrate or I'm gonna move or make better nutritional choices or if I should breathe or not, it's no longer just you versus yourself. It is you and 230 plus other people in this group who are counting on you, who are rooting for you, who want you to succeed versus yourself. And guess what? When you do things as a team, as I mentioned in my previous video, it makes things 10 times easier because it's not just you alone. It is team. So we need to keep that in mind this whole time. So how can we make sure that we are being part of the team? I'm gonna give you 2 choices, okay? One is optional and the other one's absolutely mandatory. So the first one, optional. Go ahead, grab your phone, start a text group, find a close group of friends, a small group of friends that are gonna take on this challenge together, Form a text group that is only dedicated to this challenge and stay in constant communication with one another, all right? That's option number 1. Option number 2, which is mandatory. I absolutely need, in fact, I am begging all of you in this group, okay, we need to post our successes in this group, all right? That doesn't mean you need to post every single day, but if you want to, hey, I'm not telling you not to, okay? We have to share our successes because although you don't even realize it, okay, some person that you have no clue who is, 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade, boy, girl, student, teacher, whatever, they post something that they got after the day and they won the day and they did something and you don't even realize it, but it could be reading that one singular small comment that is what it's gonna take to get someone off their butt from the couch and go out and go for a run or get back on track and start winning the day because they read that and they said, my team members are doing it, I'm part of the team, I gotta be held accountable, I'm going to do that too. In fact, you know what, all this positivity is driving me insane, I can't take it anymore, I'm going for a run myself. Whew, I feel good. I swear there is no feeling comparable to that feeling you get after you run or work out. And I don't know about you, but I am excited about getting after these next 2 weeks for this 14-day wellness challenge. So before I leave you, I just want to remind you of our 5 tips that you need to keep in mind in order to maximize or make the best out of your 14-day wellness challenge, all right? So tip number 1, remember this, the easy one. Go to your printer, make sure you print yourself out a copy of that 14-day wellness challenge recording sheet. Tip number 2, all right, remember that you are in control of your decisions. We got a group full of 230 members here that got your back, all right, but you are the one that's gonna be deciding whether or not to hydrate, to breathe, to move, to make better nutritional choices each and every day for the next 14 days, all right? Tip number 3, make sure that you continue to build positive momentum by marking your progress on those charts daily, okay? Day after day, night and morning, we need to make sure that we're marking those charts 14 days in a row. Tip number 4, as Ms. Kamato said, be kind to yourself. Remember, we're gonna have our slip-ups, we're gonna have our bad days, all right? I'm not expecting perfection. None of this is about perfection, okay? It's about positive momentum, so make sure you're marking those charts every single day, all right, with those victory points to show yourself who's winning. And finally, and most importantly, all right, make sure that you be a part of the team, right? We got 230 people in this group. Everybody here's got your back. Everybody's here is rooting for you, wants you to succeed. So make sure you post your successes in this group day in and day out so we can all get that motivation, all right? And that extra little push that we need to go make a better version of ourselves. So before I leave you all, okay, I just want to leave you one last question. Who is ready to create a better version of themselves? I know I am. Are you?